Hungry? Thirsty? Horny?
It can be bought. It can be found at Mick and Ralph's. Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs. We've got stuff we're not even allowed to sell, people. Only at Mick and Ralph's.
If you're looking for guns, talk to Mick. Otherwise, I've got a...
Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. NCR Correctional Facility.
I only offer services if the king gives...
Following a successful riot. Locals should avoid anyone who looks like they've done time. Also, refugees...
All right. Yeah, I've got a little something. Over the years, I've gradually perfected my craft to the point of perfection. What I'm referring to is passports. If you've got... Hey, if you're interested and have the caps, they go for 500. Any less, and it ain't worth the risk of getting caught. What do you say? No problem. If you need one...
If that were the case. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
Well, the only place I know of locally would be... If you want to check the place out, you can find it on the west side of Freeside. The entrance is on the back. Just watch out for thugs. Well, I don't know of any, but if you give me a few days and some cash... All right. Come back in a couple days. Pleasure doing business with you.
Come to... Thanks, lady. Nick and Ralph's is located just before these...
What's up? This better not be... Sure, he's one of the hotel managers. Him and the other chairman run the tops. Elder McNamara wouldn't shell out for a passport for me, so I've actually never been to the Strip. Why do people get so cheap when they get old? Yep, it's your typical city layout. Rich people... House gave the area around the Strip to the locals, but he has no interest in it, so he ignores it entirely. I'd love to see the Brotherhood do it, but since the Codex doesn't say clean up... I'm worried they'll be the death of the Brotherhood. They take what they want. But there's a handful of us. Last time we clashed, we lost a lot of people. Silliest dress... Although, no such privilege for the women, though.
Howdy. I've been around a while. Aside from protecting them from the occasional thug looking to the one researcher I liked who I could chat up about liquor got transferred. And the rest of the I joined up looking for a decent paying job. Granted, the pay's all right, but they won't let me kick back and slog a brew at the end of the day. They're worried the filthy drunkies in detox seeing me drink will cause an immediate... I've been around long enough to observe the patterns of human behavior. Physical and mental. Hey, who doesn't enjoy it? They already have that pig McCaffrey working for them. Do they need another? I've escorted... I'm all boot, knives, and leather, friend. And a ghoul besides. Weirdos into bullwhips and necrosis, huh? What am I thinking? I'm no whore. They do have... If I get to choose my customers, if I get to be a little rough with them, if my cut is fair, tell the Garretts what starts in misery tends to stay there. Freeside wasn't Freeside until 6 or 7 years. That's when Mr. House's robots rolled out of the Lucky 38. Lots of folks died. What about him? Pretty much the sort of gang... The king himself, though? He's got that something special you can't put a finger on. I reckon they care about getting water and... The locals here are just an inconvenience to them. Something to... Before or after the human race shot itself in the foot? Before the war, Mr. House was a famous captain of industry. Robotics, to be specific, seemed charming in interviews, until he became a recluse. Since the war, though, didn't make a peep for near 200 years. But when he came back strong and killed a lot of people. I don't know how they do it. If they didn't charge for their services, I'd think they was crazy. But nah, they're just naive. Couple of rad scorpions, those two. Gloria is the state. Or rather, she'd tell her brother to do it for her.
The gunrunners ought to help the followers by donating some of that firepower they've got.
The gunrunners ought to help the followers by...
What's up? Why does it... Okay, then I guess I'll be back at the 188. Maybe digging in some dirt for scrap metal or something.
Donating some of that firepower they've got.
What's up? Hi. If you're looking for medical help, try the other doctors. Oh, you know, finding alternative treatments for common illnesses and injuries. Stim packs out of bear. As far as fruitless wastes of time go, it's quite noble in its aim. For the past 100 years or so, the followers have managed to get by using salvaged medical supplies from the... But the side effect of medical success is that more people live longer. Funny how that works. Eventually, we'll run out of hospitals to loot. We need new ways to produce those supplies, or maybe old ways if this research goes anywhere. I'm enthusiastic about it. Caesar can cite Cato to suit his purpose. Many people have spoken Latin. Some of them were quite... It's unfortunate that the language is now associated with the gentleman across... Not from the Legion, if that's what you're getting at. Books, sheet music, gladiator movie holotapes. But the followers have extensive libraries, but we all draw water from the same old well. I don't know anything. He wanted to rebuild the new world in the image of the old. A sad story of good intentions gone bad. In that regard, if you set aside his leadership capabilities, extensive knowledge, and ruthless cunning, he's just another jerk who steps on people to get his way. Oh, sorry. If agave and mesquite were that miraculous, the locals would have figured it out a few thousand years ago. Not all followers are people persons. Besides, someone needs to do research. I have no problem with Julie sticking me back here. Out of sight, out of mind. There are worse things one can be, though I do admit, though it has a noble goal, I don't think this research will yield much fruit. No offense in... Hello again. Me specifically? I'm sure she...
Hey,
There are so many refugees.
We've got stuff we're not even allowed to sell.
Bodyguards at the gates aren't so bad.
What do we have here? Anything's possible, I suppose. You know what? I like you. Half the people are... Head on through.
Look, Rexy, someone new's come to see us. Maybe so. Maybe so. You look like you might be able to handle yourself. You do me a favor, and I'll have some more... I'll start you off with something easy. Did you notice the bodyguards for... It's good money if you can stay alive long enough. Freeside's not as safe as it used to be, so the money is well earned. Usually well earned, that is. Recently, my men tell me that one of those he's making a killing in repeat business. Once someone hires him, they never want anyone else. I want you to... Specifically, I want you to hire him. Play the part of an innocent... If nothing happens, so be it. But I'm guessing things won't go so smooth. You may have noticed that some of those guards out there... I'm not trying to get some kind of unfair advantage. I just want a level playing field for my boys. Okay then, once you part ways, return here. I'll look forward to hearing...
Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs.
You want to travel through Freeside with ease, you hire a king. Your safety... Freeside's a little dangerous for people traveling alone or in small groups.
If you need to cross Freeside, no one will... 200 caps gets you my watch. Done and done. I want to mention a few things up front. In order to ensure we'll be heading down the main street here the whole way down. No detours. You go off sightseeing, and I go off to find another customer. I'll keep a brisk pace, so try not to fall behind. To your left here is the old Mormon fort. You get roughed up, the followers there will patch you right up. Not that I ever need their services. Up ahead on the next block is where the kings hang out. Don't let them scare you. If they don't outnumber you 5 to 1, keep it. Down to the right here is the fun part of town. You haven't seen Freeside till you've been to the Wrangler. Hey, slow down. I don't like the look of... Nothing to worry about. If you had hired one of those other hacks, you'd be up to your ass. Noticed that, did you? I keenly aimed one of the shocks through some soft tissue of one of them to hit the man behind. That's an interesting theory you've got there. Stay close. Well, here we are. No worse for wear, are you? I trust that if you need to...
You look new to Freeside, so here's a little advice, friend. Don't go past the Southgate greeter without talking to it first. Those bots are programmed to vaporize... The name's Old Ben. I've been living it... I've done a bit of everything around here. Courier, butcher, crier... Some of which I'm not proud of, but... Exactly one of the reasons I got out of that job. Too many shifty characters looking to have someone else move their hot... My father ran a butcher shop here in town, but business went downhill when another vendor started selling this strange meat at half our prices. You're telling me Not long after my father's shop went under, and he passed away from... No one gets shakes like that unless they're eating human flesh. But no one would believe me. The sick bastard gradually went insane and passed away. Wasn't long before someone moved into the guy's place and found half-buried human remains in the crawl space. I didn't bother saying, "Told you so." After a while, I made enough money to get a passport into Vegas. Back then, you could get approved for entry for a fraction of what it costs now. Well, I got a job working as a crier outside of the Tops, Well, being a suave young guy, I chatted up the ladies from time to time, and one of the manager's girls started to take a liking to me. I never touched a woman, but the jealous prick decided it was my time to go. He framed me by saying I'd stolen. Sure enough, a few grand was missing from the casino vault. I have to assume the bastard stole the funds and figured I was a convenient fall. Yeah, but what can you do? I was stripped of my casino apartment and all of my belongings, and boot. From there, I didn't have a lot of career options, as my rep was destroyed. So the escort job. My father ran a butcher shop here in town, but business went downhill when another vendor started... You're telling me, not long after my father's shop went under, and he passed away from the loss, people around... No one gets shakes like that unless they're eating human flesh. But no one would believe me. The sick bastard gradually went insane and passed away. Wasn't long before someone moved into the guy's place and found half-buried human remains in the crawl space. I didn't bother saying, "Told you so." Well, I suppose you could look at it that way, but I was packing a whole different kind of heat. Yep. I was damn good at my job, too. But when I quit the escort job, I had enough money to buy a pistol belt and some other... Bodyguards make a good, honest living. After saving a few tourists from trouble, I got a reputation for being a stand-up guy again. And after a decade...
What do you have for me? So that's how it happens. Okay then, I'll have... You've shown me something, so maybe you can help me with a lot of folks around these parts who've been here a while resent the sheer number of people that have come into the area since the Strip was built. In turn, the newcomers, most of whom come from the NCR, have gotten ornery from being resented. Sometimes things get... This is one of those occasions. Recently, a few friends of mine were attacked. Words come that they just woke up over at the old Mormon fort just north of here. Good. I like... Have you found anything out?
Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs.
Howdy.
What is it? Can't you see I want to be left alone with my... Oh, that's different. Well, it happened at night, around 11. We'd recently made some caps off a bit of scrap we found and wanted to... As we were leaving the Wrangler, we must have taken a wrong turn. From out of nowhere, these big guys show up and start barking questions at us. The kid there's about as proud as a local around here gets, and started yelling back at him. Kid got the worst of it. They were big guys, young too, no old geezers like me. Hell, none of them looked even half my... I was mostly face down in the dirt, begging for my life when it happened, so I only got a quick look at... I hope you find the bastards that did this. Wayne, it's okay. The king sent him.
That true? Did the king... I don't really know what else I can add. They were a bunch of guys, better dressed than most Freesiders, I guess. What? No, Hey, wait, I just remembered something. I might have heard one of the guys that attacked us call another by name. We had just about had it when one of them said, "Hey Lou, we gotta go." At least I think he said Lou. It might have been something else. Now that I think of it, he said Lou something with a T. Tennant, that's what he called him. Lieutenant.
He probably said Lieutenant, Wayne. The boy means well, but he's dumb as a mutant sometimes. Tell the king we thank him for looking out for us.
Are you here to drop off medical supplies? Rates of injury and illness in Freeside are very high. Supplies don't last long. Med-X, Radaway, and Fixer are Freeside essentials. I can't... So far, the Crimson Caravan won't cut us a deal. If you can convince them or some other merchant to work with us... You might ask around at Mick and Ralph's, or go see the... Just come see... What do you... How much... Thanks. Thanks for the donation.
fully integrated security technotronic. Yeah, please. Servos. Operation complete. Numbness will subside in several minutes. Oh, yes, ma'am.